The Waco ISD School Board has called a tax ratification election for Tuesday, November the 3rd, 2015. This tax ratification election, or TRE, will allow voters to decide whether Waco ISD can raise the tax rate in order to provide more than $8 million in additional funding annually for their schools. This funding, if approved by the voters, will be used to address targeted educational needs throughout the district, with measurable outcomes that will be reported annually to the community. This video has been created to provide factual information about the election and why the school board has chosen to take this action.
As a former Waco ISD classroom teacher, I always heard that the Texas school funding formula was complex. But now, as a school board member, I realize just how true that is. So the district has made this video to help voters understand the facts surrounding the TRE.
Texas public school districts receive funding from three sources: local tax dollars, state funding, and federal funding. Local tax collections are divided into two funds: maintenance and operations, referred to as M&O, and interest and sinking, referred to as INS. The M&O tax rate and the INS tax rate added together make up the total tax rate. Money from M&O collections pays for the everyday operations of the school district, including salaries, building maintenance, utilities, and transportation. By law, the M&O tax rate is capped at $1.04, and the only way a school district can exceed this rate is by calling a TRE and obtaining voter approval. Similar to a personal mortgage, school districts use tax collections in the INS fund to make debt payments on recently constructed schools and facilities. The state of Texas funds public schools using a complex series of formulas. As a result of these formulas, when Waco ISD raises its local M&O tax rate, the district receives more funding from the state. In fact, for every $100 local taxpayers generate by raising the M&O tax rate, Waco ISD receives approximately $57 from the state, an annual return on investment of 57%. By not raising the M&O tax rate, Waco ISD taxpayers are essentially forfeiting millions of dollars in state funding on an annual basis.
When the school board was informed that Waco ISD is leaving money on the table in Austin, it didn't take me long to decide to take this idea to the voters.
Waco ISD's 2014 M&O tax rate was $1.04. That, added to the INS rate of just over 31 cents, resulted in a total tax rate of just over $1.35 for each $100 of property value. The Waco ISD School Board has called a tax ratification election to ask the Waco community to consider an increase to the M&O tax rate in order to optimize state funding.
As a CPA, I've spent most of my career in banking and finance dealing with money matters. I made the decision this money matter is something we need to take to the voters to decide.
The school board is proposing a 13-cent increase in the M&O tax rate from $1.04 to $1.17, the maximum M&O tax rate allowed by law. At the same time, the board is lowering the INS tax rate from just over 31 cents to 23 cents. That's an INS tax rate decrease of more than 8 cents. So if voters approve the new M&O tax rate, the 2015 total tax rate for Waco ISD would be $1.40, less than a 5-cent increase from last year's total tax rate.
I was very pleased to see that the Texas legislature put an increase in the homestead exemption on the ballot in November.
On the same ballot as the Waco ISD TRE, voters will have an opportunity to approve a constitutional amendment that would increase the homestead exemption used in determining the taxable value of a home. The proposal would increase the exemption from $15,000 to $25,000. So what effect would the new homestead exemption and the less than 5-cent increase to the Waco ISD total tax rate have on Waco homeowners? The average home in Waco is assessed at $99,679. After applying the current homestead exemption of $15,000, the taxable value of the home is $84,679. With the current Waco ISD total tax rate of just over $1.35, the school tax on this home is about $1,146. With the proposed $25,000 homestead exemption, the taxable value on this same home would be $74,679. Applying the proposed Waco ISD school tax rate of $1.40 would result in a school tax bill of $1,046, $100 less than the previous example. In fact, any home valued at $314,000 or less would see their school tax bill decrease even with the less than 5-cent tax increase. Taxpayers age 65 and older whose property taxes were frozen for the 2014 tax year will actually benefit if both the increased homestead exemption and the Waco ISD TRE pass. That's because when the tax office calculates the new frozen amount for these taxpayers, it will use the $10,000 homestead exemption increase and the tax rate as multipliers to determine how much will be subtracted from the frozen amount. So the higher the tax rate, the higher the amount that will be subtracted from the current year's frozen taxes.
If the voters approve the TRE, the district has a comprehensive plan on how the additional funding will be used.
The less than 5-cent increase in the Waco ISD total tax rate will result in an estimated $8.2 million additional dollars that will be used to support classroom instruction and bolster student achievement through a plan developed with input from teachers, principals, and community members. The plan includes adding highly qualified literacy-trained classroom aides in each pre-K through second grade classroom to enhance literacy instruction. Waco ISD's ultimate goal is for all children to be reading at grade level by third grade. Hiring additional reading teachers at all middle schools. Expanding the Brazos Credit Recovery Center in order to accommodate middle school students who need to catch up on academic requirements. Providing additional support where needed for students with behavior and discipline issues, including family counselors, social workers, health professionals, and the creation of behavior management classrooms for disruptive students. Maintaining an 8-period day at both high schools to allow students to take more classes, increase options for early graduation, provide remediation for struggling students, and expand enrichment opportunities. Adding multiple college credit opportunities for all juniors and seniors at no charge to the students or their families, a move that would provide thousands of dollars in college tuition savings. Each of the initiatives is student-focused and will have measurable outcomes that will be reported to the community on an annual basis.
The Waco ISD Board of Trustees has called a tax ratification election, but the voters are the ones that will decide the outcome of this election.
The Waco ISD tax ratification election will be held Tuesday, November 3rd. Early voting begins Monday, October 19th, and continues through Friday, October 30th.
I encourage everyone to study the available information regarding this tax ratification election so every voter can make an informed decision on how to vote.
For additional information about Waco ISD's tax ratification election, including early voting locations, visit our website, wacoisd.org, and click the TRE tab at the top of the home page. This informational video was produced by the Waco Independent School District. Thank you for watching.